Red Brick Productions here with another LEGO video. Today I have the LEGO Gameboy set. The set number is 72046. It has 421 pieces and basically the Game Boy and then a little stand for your games. So without further ado, let's take a look at the Game Boy. Of course, we got to take a look at the Game Boy first. And this is just an insane build. It is an insane display. It looks very accurate to the actual Game Boy. I'm hoping that I can get, one of my friends might have a Game Boy, and I'm hoping that I can borrow it to do a comparison. But this is, I'm pretty sure, almost a 1-to-1 scale with the Game Boy, which is just crazy. You'll also notice there are so many prints in the set. There's a print right here, print there, there. You got two right here, you got one right here, you got one on the back, you got one here and over there. There are just so many prints in this set and very little stickers, which, you know, I wish LEGO would do more of that. I do like prints, and I'm also okay with stickers, but I feel like for these like collector sets, prints do a lot better of a job. So now there are some functions with the set. First off, all the gaming pads work. So these buttons, click. These are like minifigure hats right there. You got little tires right there, which this is an interesting build technique because these tires aren't even connected. They're just slotted in, just like that. So they just squish, and those work as buttons as well. On the side here, you have like the volume control, and that can spin. That's just an easy connection right there. On the top, you have the on-off switch, which actually does work with a click. Listen. That's awesome. You have the contrast dial right there as well, and that looks pretty good. So yeah, you have a little phone connector right there, which that's actually used as a stand. So you have the stand right here, very simple design, but it just has that little Technic pin. It doesn't like pit, there's no like receiving end. It just kind of places on top and then just rests there. So then that just stays how it is, which is awesome. But the most interesting thing about this set is in the screen. You'll notice there is a lenticular piece right there. And it allows the Nintendo logo to go down, boom, and then it will go back up. That is just awesome and super deluxe. So if we open up the back here, we have this little printed tile right there. You have the game inside, and so you can take that, which gives you access to the lenticular screen. So if we open this up, this is just a vinyl piece. It's not actually like a Lego piece, you know, and you can see it goes right there. Now, let's say if I was playing Super Mario Land and I had it in there, LEGO includes some extra, we'll take a look at this stand in a little bit, some extra lenticular designs. Now, I'm sure some of you have probably already seen a review for the set, so you probably already know. But we get one for Super Mario, where he's jumping up to get a star right there, if you can see that. There we go. You have the score up above there too, which is just really cool. And then, of course, we have one for Zelda, where they're just sitting on the beach right there. That is awesome. And you can see the birds like flapping and stuff. Yeah, that is really cool. So what you can do is, let's say I'm playing Zelda. I can put the screen here, close it up there, put in the Zelda game, boom. You can close this up. And this game can still connect in with or without that backing. You connect that in there. Now it looks like I'm playing Zelda. That's so cool. That is super cool. Like, are you kidding me? That is awesome. That is such a fun play feature. Now, the one downside about this is if you remove the game and there's enough lighting to see, you can see in the middle of the screen right here, there's a black bar, right? I don't know if you can really see that. In person, it's a little bit easier. But there's a black bar there. Oh, you know what? There we go. You can kind of see it better there. And that's just that right there. So you do kind of have to, if you want it on display, you do kind of have to have a game inside the console for it to like not show that bad, because now there's no light going through because there's the Lego game piece in the back there, which is not an issue because they only give you display for one of the games. So eventually you're going to have to put one in the back if you want to keep everything together. So that's fine. But it's just something to note. I don't think there's any issue with that. But yeah, that's just something to note. Now, one thing that I am pretty upset about is my screen, you can see it right there, is scuffed and scraped up, and I'm actually pretty upset about that. So I am going to call LEGO customer service, and if you do get the set and you do have a scratched up screen, that is not how it should be. Like, these are very premium products. You do pay a lot of money for this, and their scratched up screen is just not the quality and standard that LEGO says they have. So I'm going to call customer service, and they have a wonderful, they really do have a wonderful customer service. So I'm not upset about calling them. It's just, I shouldn't have to call them in the first place, but calling them and telling them about those issues, it's very costly for LEGO to have such good customer service. So using it is going to help them. You know, it's going to help them improve and make things better, because that's what they need to do. They say their motto is only the best is good enough. Well, this, in my opinion, this screen is not their best, you know, so I'm going to call customer service and hopefully get that replaced. But yeah, and I implore you, if the same thing happens to you, you should do the same. And it will be free of charge, which is nice. So yeah, that's kind of it for the Game Boy. The shaping is very nice. We can just kind of take a look around. Now the build, oh boy, the build was awesome. You can see they got a little slope right there. The build was just incredible. It was super complex. There was pieces fitting in where I didn't even know that it would work like that. There's so many connections. This was enjoyable to put together, like really, really enjoyable. It also helped that I was hanging out with one of my best friends as we were building it, and we were just talking. But this build was just crazy, and to have all these functions too, and just for it to be almost 1-to-1. Are you kidding me? That is incredible. The LEGO designers need to be applauded for this, because this is actually one of the best builds of 2025. Hands down, without a doubt. This set was just incredible. It feels good in the hands. You want to pick it up and just hold it. You just want to press all the buttons and touch it and pause. You just want to hold it and, you just want to play with it. Like, this is cool. And it's very, I don't know, there's something cool about this that I really enjoyed. And I was on the fence about getting this, and I'm glad I did, because this is a really cool set. So I'm very happy with this. And I think a lot of people will be happy with it too. But that's really it for the Game Boy. Now let's take a look at the games in the side stand. This set comes with 2 stickers, and those 2 stickers are the Zelda and the Super Mario Land stickers. You know, I think those are fine as stickers, because in the actual gaming cartridge, these are stickers, and so I think that is really, really interesting that they decided to do that. The stickers look amazing though. They even have a little metallic on the side. These look so good, and just look at all the detail there. Basically just a recreation. Link's Awakening also looks really good. You do have this print right here, which is nice. I know that in the actual Game Boy, this is kind of indented. It would have been nice if LEGO could do that, but I know they couldn't. But you know what they did do though, which is totally unnecessary, is if we kind of remove this, they have, by the way, another print in there. They have built up the mother chip and stuff, and that represents the memory storage, I believe, in Zelda. Now, I think in Mario, there isn't that print. There's a different motherboard setup. Very interesting. I mean, that's just a little Easter egg. You wouldn't know that unless if you put this together. You can barely see, you can see the gold in there, but you wouldn't know that. These games look really good, really solid, and then of course, one will be inside the Game Boy, while the other can be displayed just right here on the stand. Boom! And then right behind is where you can store the lenticular screens. Again, you get 3 of them. These look incredible. Absolutely beautiful. I'm a huge fan of how these look. And they're very deluxe. It's a really cool piece, and I'm glad LEGO decided to include something like that. So yeah, this is really, really awesome. They didn't even need to include this stand, but they did, and I really appreciate it. But that's it for the set. Now let's take a look at the packaging, and then my final verdict. It is really tall, so I'm going to turn it on its side. It's one of those 18 plus boxes. It just says Game Boy right there. It's got a nice little glow. Honestly, I think the black box design works well for this. You got the little side thing right there. Shows the different game cartridges, and that you can insert them into the game. It has Mario World right there. The dimensions on the side, same thing. I do think the black box is fine for this. Again, it would be nice to get a little more colored boxes for these 18 plus sets, but I feel like for this one in particular, it works, you know, it's whatever. Now for the instructions, it's like the same sort of thing. You do get a little bit of an introduction to the Game Boy, and that you have like the whole, like the memory chip and stuff. You can get a little insight to the mechanism. I will say for the instructions, if you aren't planning on getting this set, you have a little background of Super Mario one. If you aren't planning on getting this set, I do think you should look at the instructions if you like interesting Lego builds, because this one was just an insane build, and I think if you're into like mock making and stuff, you can learn a lot from this set. There's a lot of really cool stuff. It shows the set all built up, piece count, then the adult style win. And then this. Oh, there's the real one. That looks really cool. Again, if I had it set up better. Yeah, Lego cooked with this one. They really did a really good job. Like, oh my gosh, there is no way. Yeah, that's awesome. But yeah, if you're not going to get the set, take a look at the instructions. This is a really cool build. Silver pieces, there aren't many, but you do get an extra tire, and then this is the sticker sheet. So for my final verdict, I really like this set a lot. I know in the video, you could probably hear my enthusiasm as I was reviewing this. Like, this is a really cool set. I love the prints, I love the build, I love all the extra stuff. The lenticulars are really cool. I like holding the set. Like, this is a really, there's some weight to it. Like, there's some mass and stuff. Like, when you pick it up, it's like you're not holding like a block of air. Like, there's some density inside this build and stuff. And it's shocking that it's only 421 pieces. Like, this feels like there's a lot more pieces to it, which is insane. Now, for $60, I think it's okay. I think it's an okay price for this set in 2025. Yes, it's a little expensive. Yes, I would have preferred it to be cheaper. Yeah, and you could get it cheaper if you have like a friend with a Costco membership. It was $50 at Costco at one point. I'm sure there might be a discount at some point, but this was a really popular set. But this is also a very unique set. There are so many prints in this set versus stickers, and the stickers make sense because in real life those would have been stickers as well. The build is super solid. Like, the lenticulars are nice, very deluxe pieces. My only complaint really is I just got a scratched up screen, so now I have to call Lego customer support, but you know, that's not the end of the world. So yeah, overall, I really do like this set, and I think $60 is okay in this day and age. And now some people might be like, oh my god, 421 pieces for $60, the price to part ratio is terrible. But there are some larger pieces in this set, there are some smaller pieces. I think, like, and the lenticulars and the prints and stuff really do add extra value to this set and stuff, so I think it's fine. And as I said, like, it doesn't feel like there's 400, it feels like there's more pieces. Like, this is a very dense build. And finally, when you look at like actual Game Boy prices, you could get a used one for slightly more than this. It's like 75 to 100, maybe even more. I don't even know the condition of those ones. I just did like a quick Google search. I probably should have asked my best friend because he's a games major. He loves retro gaming and stuff, so he would have known better. But I feel like this is within the range where it's not more expensive than a real Game Boy. You know, like, if this was like $100 and a real Game Boy is like 75 or something, like, okay, now you're pushing the limit, Lego. But since this is slightly cheaper than a Game Boy, I think this is a valid set to have. You know, because if you just like the Game Boy, you don't necessarily want to play it, you just want to kind of have it. And there's a novelty to Lego sets. Like, this is a good alternative for those people, and I think they would enjoy this set. It is a little complex. Like, I feel like the 18 plus rating isn't just to say it's for adults. Like, I actually do think like this is like a 16 plus, maybe even 14 like build rate. Like, this is a very technical build. So yeah, but that's really it for this set. This is a 10 out of 10 set, hands down. 10 out of 10. One of my favorite sets of the year. It is incredible. But yeah, that's it for this video. If you like this video, please consider liking and subscribing. And I'd like to hear your guys' thoughts about the set in the comments below. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. Peace. Peace out. Bye.